Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to have a close look at those tasty looking dog food rolls you can find in the fridge section of most supermarkets and some pet stores. Are they good, bad, or just plain ugly? What do you need to know to help you pick the best one for your doggo? Now, these sausage-shaped loaves look great, are easy to store and cut and serve. In a lot of cases, could be a cheaper option than pre-made, frozen, complete and balanced meals. And in many cases, cheaper than many brands of kibble. If you're on a budget or like these types of products, hang around and let's get slicing and dicing. Isn't this dinky? So cute. These types of dog food rolls appeal to many people as they are neat, easy, don't have a strong smell, especially for those people who don't like to handle raw meat. They slice up and are pretty much fuss-free. A lot of people do not know, as a vital step in the processing of these big, usually big sausage-shaped rolls, the ingredients are pumped into plastic skins, sealed and then cooked in a hot water bath or steamed. This ensures they hold shape when you peel back the plastic and slice into bite-sized cubes. So they are not, despite popular thinking, actually raw at all. They are cooked and include a gelling agent or multiple gelling agents to hold them together. Let's face it, it seems a far better option than dried kibble. But are they really? So let's get to it. What would I look for when choosing a product for my doggos? Hey, please like and subscribe this video if you're enjoying the content we're presenting for you. We love doing it. So, top tip number 1. Always choose a brand that is Australian made and uses Australian sourced ingredients. Or if you're based overseas, choose a brand that sources their ingredients locally. Live in the States? Pick a product made in the States from locally sourced ingredients. What we do not want is inferior imported ingredients that slip through our country's import rules as they are labelled pet food and therefore not subject to our stringent local food laws. Okay, top tip number 2. Check the ingredient listing carefully. They're listed by law in order from the most to the very least. The top 4 or 5 ingredients make up 99% of what's in that roll. Everything after number 5 makes up often less than 1%. A trick that the marketing companies do is label a product like this chicken with rice roll. Check out these ingredients. There might be chicken, but it's a bit of a lucky dip as to which meat they actually have used. It's followed by soybean meal and wheat bran. Rice comes in at number 7 on the list. Why? Rice. Soybean meal and wheat bran are byproducts of the human food chain and are super cheap. Basically, they're rubbish leftovers. They're actually much cheaper than that whole rice ingredient. Okay, top tip number 3. Look at the nutrition panel as well as the ingredient listing. You want a high protein percentage, and by that I mean at least 10% crude protein. The higher the better. A low crude fat percentage, 3 to 5% is ideal, unless it's a puppy formula that is, and a crude fibre percentage of around 2% for your adult dog. Puppies need higher percentages of fat, calcium and protein to enable their super fast growth rates. So always go with a product designed for puppies for dogs under 12 months of age. Now, top tip number 4. Now, this is where it can get a little bit tricky. If you can find one, choose a product that offers single protein sources. Again, for example, choose a mix that contains beef meat, beef offal and beef bones only. One animal source. If you choose a product that's a mix, for example, containing beef meat, pork offal or chicken frames, you'll never be able to tell if your dog has a reaction to one of these protein sources. It's actually quite hard to find a product here in Australia like these that offers a single protein mix option, particularly in the supermarket ranges. They usually are made up of a couple, if not more, animal sources like chicken and salmon or kangaroo and lamb, or more often than not, inclusive of chicken carcasses used to make up the bone matter content. It surprised me when doing the research for this that some of these rolls contained a list of animal proteins and they all said may contain beef and or pork and or chicken and or kangaroo. Basically, every one of these rolls possibly contain whatever the manufacturer could get their hands on for that particular batch. This is where I hear stories of people trucking along for months on a single product from a single brand and then bang, out of the blue, their doggo gets a reaction to that exact same product. Their owners will never be able to tell which protein source was actually causing their dog's upset. Take out of this tip, avoid all products that list their meat ingredients this way, because you'll never know what you're really feeding a dog. And for the most part, they are usually the lowest quality ingredients. Things Think bits left over after butchering carcasses for human consumption. I call them lips and because literally that's what they are. Next top tip, number 5. As a legal requirement, ingredients must be listed from the most to least included in the mix. A really good rule to remember is the first 5 ingredients will make up 98 to 99% of the overall mix. Every ingredient listed after these 5 are literally so minute they may as well not even be there. The addition of synthetic vitamins and minerals always fall here, as there only needs to be tiny amounts included to meet the baseline AFCO requirements for dog food to be fit for purpose. That is, at bare minimum, keep your dog alive. Also keep an eye out for the gelling agents used to hold these cooked rolls together so you can slice nice neat portions. It's interesting to note there is not actually a legal requirement to list them. No idea why. It's just unfortunately another example of crappy pet food labelling or regulations. This is by far the lowest quality roll I've found in the supermarket. The ham and chicken flavour luncheon roll. Yummy. There is no chicken listed in the ingredient panel at all, and the top 5 ingredients are apparently 68% meat of some kind. This means following the 99% rule, the remaining 4 ingredients make up 32% of this food. Water, potato starch, tapioca starch, and salt. I would love to show you the nutrition panel on this roll, but it was not on the product. Yet another example of AFCO laws being ignored. I don't know how. How on earth did this make this onto the shelf here in Australia is a complete mystery to me, and it's very, very bad. Read those labels, please. Do not get me started on the onions and 2 types of MSG listed on this sausage roll. Top tip number 6. Avoid all products containing carbohydrates, grains or starches like tapioca. Tapioca, potato starch, cornmeal, pea protein, chickpea flours, soy or barley meals all fall into this category. So don't fall into the trap believing the grain-free labelling on the package. These all behave the same way in your dog's digestive system as grains and should be avoided as if possible. In the 20 or so products I researched and stood in the supermarket photographing with much interest from passers-by, all contain some form of carbohydrate. In fact, a key selling point was grain-free on a lot of the front of the packaging. Flip that sausage over and there they all were. Linked below is a video on carbohydrates and how they're hidden in plain sight. And I go into this at great lengths why to avoid. Avoid! Top tip number 7 fingers. A lot of these fresh rolls contain some plant matter like carrots and peas and other vegetables, usually carrots and peas because they're cheap. This is great in theory, but uncooked vegetable matter on a cellular level is very hard, if not impossible, for your dog to digest and extract the vitamins and minerals from. If the veggies are not lightly cooked, they simply pass through the dog's digestive system and unfortunately provide no nutritional benefit whatsoever and are simply a cheap filler to reduce the amount of actual meat in the products and up the protein percentages on those nutrition panels. A sneaky trick is the inclusion of these veggies. These are all high in plant protein, and are cheap in comparison to real meat. These up the protein percentage in the nutrition panel breakdown. It's cheaper to include peas than actual meat. If your ingredient panel states meat and the next one on the list is peas, you can be sure that it will be almost a 50-50 ratio of meat and those peas. You're paying a lot for peas and not much for meat. This illustrates several of the tips I've already talked about. You can see the veggies included, that is carrots, pea protein and actual peas. Pea protein is a processed powder derived from peas, and it's an incredibly high plant-based protein source. This is used to increase the protein percentage in the nutritional panel. You can see it's excellent sitting at 10% on this one, but obviously peas are cheaper than meat, as I've mentioned, and you would know. So this is why this ingredient is used. And check out the feeding guide. 300 grams to 400 grams per 10 kilo of body weight is recommended to feed each day. Now, this is a lot. As a guide, you should be feeding around 2% of your dog's body weight per day. And that's 200 grams per 10 kilos, not 300 to 400. That's almost double. I'm guessing they're overcompensating because they know dogs cannot metabolize the pea protein like they can animal protein, and will need a whole lot more of the product to meet their minimum nutritional requirements. Sneaky peas. So, armed with these 7 things to look for when picking your fresh sausage meal mixes, you can make more informed choices when choosing foods for your 4-legged family members. Now, would I pick one of these rolls for my dog's dinners? Nope. None of the products I've spent quality time at the supermarket checking out even come close to what I would feed my babies. The ones stocked in the pet store are definitely better quality, but obviously more expensive. And that being said, if I have a choice of a bag of kibble, any brand, any price point, I'd pick one of these pet store sausage loaves over the supermarket brand sausage loaves. Hands down. If you'd like to go into far more detail and get your hands on reference files about how you can actually read and then decipher all pet food labels no matter what style of food, I have an online course that covers much of this and so much more. The link is below, Reading Pet Food Labels. Check it out. It's self-paced and you have a lifetime access once you've completed it. The best resource guide in your pocket for when you're out shopping for your doggo.